that if they wanted to be around him, they'd better not praise Jayananda. Otherwise, he would simply leave. Once, when he was with Danavir, someone came to Jayananda and began praising him. Jayananda just ignored it. Later, he turned to Danavir and said, "You know, if you've been around this movement for a few years, people naturally offer you some respect." End quote. Not that his service or qualities were so great, he just was around for a few years, and his humble think. Not that his service or qualities were so great, he just was around a few years, and his humble thinking. If he ever spoke about himself at all, Jayananda would speak so humbly that Lochan Das recalls, "It was difficult not to think yourself as being better than him. If you had any reason to be puffed up, Jayananda would bring it out of you." End quote. Feeling himself unworthy, he would step aside so that others could lead kirtan, give classes, or do artik. Instead, he could be found fixing cars, unplugging toilets, washing dishes, or taking out trash. Shri Jayananda Prabhu Ki Jai. There's so much more you can read on Krishna.com. So if disappearance. Is disappearance? Oh, okay, disappearance. Okay, so now we'll continue with the regular program of reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 11, verse number 42, okay, thanks. Last verse. Okay. So this I have to cut this class a little short because I have to go. And I don't want to miss my train. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So I no, I really have to go. Okay. So if it's okay, I'll just read through the Sanskrit and okay, thank you. Tadahur aksharam brahma sarvakarana karanam vishnudama param sakshat purushasya mahatmanaha. Okay, word for word translation. You can respond. Tat, that. Ahu is said. Aksharam, infallible. Brahma, the supreme. Sarvakarna, all causes. Karanam, the supreme cause. Vishnudama, the spiritual abode of Vishnu. Param, the supreme. Sakshat, without doubt. Purushasya, of the Purusha incarnation. Mahatmanaha, of the Mahavishnu. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is therefore said to be the original cause of all causes. Thus, the spiritual abode of Vishnu is eternal without a doubt, and it is also the abode of Mahavishnu, the origin of all manifestations. Okay, purport. Lord Mahavishnu, who is resting in Yoga Nidra on the causal ocean and creating innumerable universes by his breathing process, only temporarily appears in the Mahatattva for the temporary manifestation. For the temporary manifestation of the material world. He is a plenary portion of Lord Sri Krishna, and thus, although he is non-different from Lord Krishna, his formal appearance in the material world as an incarnation is temporary. The original form of the personality of Godhead is actually in the Swarupa, or real form. and he eternally resides in the Vaikuntha world, Vishnu Loka. The word Mahatmanaha is used here to indicate Mahavishnu, and his real manifestation is Lord Krishna, who is called Parama, as confirmed in the Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sakchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adi Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. Quote, the Supreme Lord is Krishna, and the original personality of Godhead known as Govinda. His form is eternal, full of bliss and knowledge, and he is the original cause of all causes. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 3rd canto, 11th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Calculation of Time from the Atom. Om Jnana-timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Panchakalatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so thank you everyone for attending, especially His Holiness Chandrasekhar Maharaj. And so we're ending the chapter here, and this verse is speaking a little bit about Mahavishnu. And someone just sent me a video of His Holiness Mahavishnu Maharaj in Gita Nagari, and in that video Gopal Champu was there, and it's funny because he was in the Prasadam hall, and I'm sure everyone can guess what he was doing. He was singing, he was chanting, but he was laying down on the couch and chanting with his accordion. So, and then I thought later, oh yeah, just how Mahavishnu lays on the Sheshanaga. Our Mahavishnu is lying on our nice farm country couch and chanting the holy names. Mahavishnu Maharaj ki jai. I'm sure Gopal Champu Puru can share some pastimes of him in Gita Nagari. What happens when you get Mahavishnu Maharaj and Harinam Ruchi out in the country? I can't even imagine. Just go and chant for the cows. Chant for the deer, yeah. And I recently read an interesting thing that just as Kshirodakshay Vishnu situated within all our hearts, similarly, Mahavishnu is actually the super soul of the whole universe. And also we can, from this whole section we're seeing, what it said, our universe is 4 billion miles, and then each of the layerings is 10 times that, right? So it's just huge, and each universe is just coming out of the pores of Mahavishnu. So you can just imagine how big Mahavishnu is. And even though Mahavishnu is so big that these gigantic universes are coming out of his pores, he's actually not the greatest. I guess he is the greatest in one sense because he is non-different than Krishna. But at the same time, if everyone knows a particular pastime, we actually learn that Mahavishnu, whom all these universes come from his pores, he actually wanted to see who? Krishna, Swayam Rupa Krishna. So I was thinking to narrate a little pastime, the pastime of when Mahavishnu wants to see Lord Krishna. And if our harmonium player can take his position. Jacob. Yeah. We'll just do a little Leela Kirtan. Okay. So, as you all know, this pastime is called Krishna and Arjuna Retrieve a Brahmana's Son. And in this pastime, we'll hear a little bit about the position of Mahavishnu, and as it's quoted in this verse of today, how Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes. Once in Dwarka, a Brahmana's wife gave birth to a son who immediately died. The Brahmana took his dead son to the court of King Ugrasena and berated the king. This duplicitous, greedy enemy of Brahmanas has caused my son's death by failing to execute his duties properly. The same misfortune continued to befall the Brahmana, and each time he would bring his dead infant's body to the royal court and berate the king. When the 9th son died at birth, Arjuna happened to hear the Brahmana's complaint, and he said, "My lord, I will protect your progeny, and if I fail, I will enter into fire to atone my sin." Sometime later, the Brahmana's wife was about to give birth for a 10th time. When Arjuna learned of this, he went to the maternity house and enveloped it with a protective cage of arrows. Arjuna's efforts were of no avail, however, for as soon as the child was born and began to cry, it disappeared into the sky. As the Brahmana profusely derided Arjuna, the warriors set off for the abode of Yamraj, the king of death. But Arjuna did not find the Brahmana's son there, and even after searching throughout the 14 worlds, he could find no trace of the infant. Having failed to protect the Brahmana's son, Arjuna was now intent on committing suicide by entering the sacred fire. But just as he was about to do so, Lord Krishna stopped him and said, "I will show you the Brahmana's son, so please don't despise yourself like this." Lord Krishna then took Arjuna onto the transcendental chariot, and the two of them crossed over the 7 universal islands and their 7 oceans, passed over the Loka mountain range, and entered the region of dense darkness. Since the horses could not find their way, Krishna sent his blazing Sudarshana disc ahead to pierce the gloom. Gradually, they came to the water of the causal ocean, within which they found the city of Lord Mahavishnu. There they saw the 1,000-hooded serpent Ananta, and upon him lay Mahavishnu. The great Lord greeted Sri Krishna and Arjuna, saying, "I brought the Brahmana's sons here simply because I wanted to see the two of you. Please continue to benefit the people in general by exemplifying religious behavior in your forms as Narayan Rishi." Lord Krishna and Arjuna then took the Brahmana's sons, went back to Dwarka, and returned the infants to their father. Having directly experienced the greatness of Sri Krishna, Arjuna was amazed. He concluded that only by the Lord's mercy can a living being exhibit any power or opulence. Thank you very much. Jacob on the harmonium, ki jai. Okay. So, so we can see that even Mahavishnu wanted so eagerly to see Krishna take his darshan that he was willing to do this, kill all these Brahmana sons. And in the commentary, one of the purports of this verse, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he's talking about what Arjuna's thought process was. And one of the questions in Arjuna's mind was, why did Mahavishnu himself have to come to Dwarka? Why couldn't he just send one of his servants? And the conclusion that Arjuna comes to, according to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, was that Mahavishnu was thinking, pretty much, I don't want this to go wrong. I'm so eager to see Krishna that I myself have to go. Right? Don't they say that? If you want to get something done, do it yourself. So, and then another question that Arjuna posed in his head was, why couldn't Mahavishnu just come and, let me just pull it up actually. Oh, Krishna, Krishna. Okay, yeah, he was thinking, why couldn't Mahavishnu just see Krishna in Dwarka? Why did he have to perform such heinous acts? And his conclusion was that, it's only by the mercy of Krishna that one can actually be able to take darshan of him. This is our whole process is actually, it's an amazing process because we're trying to please a person, and it's actually, in trying to please a person, it's not you can just do this, do that, and do this, and then you'll have perfect results. Because if that was the case, then if you go to some dating class, then you could just, go to a dating class and then go out and get any lady you want, or man, or whatever. But it doesn't exactly work like that. So also, so our whole process is working in such a way that Krishna will want to see us, as Bhaktisiddhanta famously quoted that. Don't work in such a way as to see Krishna, rather work in such a way that Krishna will want to see you. And I remember I was in Mayapur, and it was before the Abhishek of the deities, the Maha Abhishek that they do every 5 years. And I was just there after the morning program, after Bhagavatam class, and I noticed then the whole temple just gets completely filled up. And to a point where actually I couldn't even go if I wanted to. Like, everyone was just knee to knee sitting down. And then I came to learn, okay, there's actually going to be this Maha Abhishek, and so everyone's just rushed in there to get their spots, And then the management came in. They said, no, actually we have to do some preparation. So everyone, please leave. And everyone is just. No one left. Everyone was just sitting in there like, no way. I'm going to see this. I got my front row seats, I got here early and I'm not going anywhere. And if you've been to India, maybe you kind of know how the locals are. Maybe a little stubborn. In a good way, they're stubborn to get the mercy, to see Krishna, to buy something at the store. Yeah, exactly. But then so we're all sitting there, and the management is just like, please, get up. We have to go. We have to do something. And then one devotee stood up. He said, work in such a way that Krishna will want to we'll want to see you. He quoted Bhaktisiddhanta saying that. Anyways, it didn't move anyone, but yeah. So yeah. Anyways, that's the whole process, is working in such a way that Krishna will be pleased with our activities, and yeah, we can get His mercy. Okay, so I'll have to end there. Thank you very much, and it was wonderful to be here with everyone, to go out on books with everyone. So many nice people out there. Yeah, I met this really nice Muslim girl yesterday who she was about to start crying when I told her that actually all religions are meant to worship, are actually worshiping the same God. I could see it was like, she was so taken back by it. And I was thinking, she like just had more realization of it than I did. And she was saying, oh my God, this is a conclusion I came to, and I thought I was the only one in the world. And she said, I was thinking to tell people about this, but I didn't want to start a new religion because I thought it would kind of, maybe cause more friction with the other religions. Anyway, she was quite amazing. She was a physicist. She said she was an astrophysicist, and she said she thinks she worked very hard on it, and she thinks she found a way, some mathematical formula to find out how God is actually more subtle than any material elements. So I invited her today, and I was thinking maybe she could talk to you, Maharaj, because I wouldn't know what the heck she was talking about. But anyway, so maybe she'll come. But then she was asking me about God's form, and I said, yeah. Oh, she said, what is the nature of God? Is he like an energy? I said, no, he's a person like you and me. And she said, oh my God, really? I said, yeah, do you want to see what he looks like? And she was like, are you serious? Are you serious? And then I had the books, and I was like, are you ready for this? Are you ready for it? And she was just so, it was like her whole, like the culmination of her whole existence was about to be in this moment that I was about to show her God. So I popped open the Bhagavad Gita and showed her the 12 avatars, and of course I pointed to the middle one where it's Swayam Rupa Krishna. I didn't want to be like, here's Lord Bor, yeah, here. That would have been a little anticlimactic. Of course, we know, yeah, Lord Bor is Krishna, so don't want to commit any offenses. But anyways, but yeah, there's so many great people out there like that, so it's so nice that the devotees are going out every day and sharing the mercy. And if you meet any farmers, you know where to send them, because it's tough to make city people farmers, so better to make farmers farmers. Okay, thank you so much. I'll end here if that's okay. And I'm going back to Girinagara, literally right now. So thank you, devotees, and I hope to see you very soon. Have a good Rath Yatra. Let's see, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the plans of Dasya Prem Das are. Okay, Vanchakapa Trivesha, Kripa Sin Bebecha, Patitanam Pavani Bio Vaishnava Bio Namo Namaha, Antaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bo.